It is being facilitated by Brighter Monday with support from Mastercard Foundation. We are having these programs and training sessions on soft skills. We are speaking about communication skills, entrepreneurship skills, the different personality types in the workplace. We are also having discussions around personal effectiveness and thinking creatively and critically, which is very important for us as youths, and especially youths who are getting ready for the job marketplace.
Now, the target audience being, the youth, what do you think is, particularly important for, in the soft skills program for the youth?
I believe that, you see, sometimes we get equipped with skills, not necessarily soft skills. We go to school, we get these skills, and then when we get into the job market, we feel, we've had a discussion with executives who are feeling that the Gen Z and the millennials who are getting into the workplace, they are struggling to find their place in the job market and also to relate with everyone else, considering the fact that we are different breed from the Gen Xers who are the managers and the executives in the workplace. So it's really important for us to find a way to work together and to work in harmony. Yes.
Now, how does this, soft skill program works? Do someone have to apply? Is it free? Do they pay? How do this information, get to the youth?
Fantastic. That's a very good question. We are being supported by Mastercard Foundation, and for this reason, the trainings are going on for free. The only thing we are doing is liaising the institutions so that we are able to have a place to have the lessons, to host the students, but specifically, we are not charging anything. It is a way of giving back to the society. We call it CSR.
Right. Now, what specific, soft skills that you think will be covered in the training, and how will the skill equip the youth in job preparedness in the future?
Good question. Now, for example, if I'll mention, let's say, for example, entrepreneurship. We are at a time when we are feeling that as youths, there are no jobs, and we kind of have this, we call it archaic mentality about the job marketplace. So it's about time that we empower our youths to create employment. You see, we are told that teach somebody how to fish. Don't give them fish. So in training in this soft skills is a way of training the youths to fish. For example, if you have gaining skills around entrepreneurship, you'll know how to run your business. If it's, for example, it's MSME or SME, you'll be able to understand how to work with suppliers, how to work with clients, how to work with even the customers that you're having, and the staff that you are employing. And these skills are very important to ensure that if you start a business, we are told that most businesses that are started, that is the MSMEs, don't even see their first anniversary. So we are trying to change this notion and ensure that as these small businesses continue to mature, they also employ more people.
Right, you mentioned that the training is free. So how do you maybe plan to sustain the program maybe in future? Because maybe this is not the first time you'll be having this kind of training. How do you plan to sustain the program in the coming future?
That is a good question. We have implemented this program in Western region, and it has been very successful. Now we are implementing it in Nairobi County, and sometimes we have difficulties when it comes to the finances and logistical support. But for these particular training sessions, we are very blessed to have Mastercard Foundation supporting us with the different logistical support that is needed for this. And it's amazing. The only thing that now is needed is for the students to show up and gain these skills and gain the certificate in that.
Now, you mentioned, this is not actually the first training program. You had the other program in Western. Do you have any testimonials, success from people who have, benefited from this particular program?
Yes. We have successes. It's important to note that, you see, sometimes youths go to these experiences expecting to get an employment immediately. But I like to say this, that if you are open-minded, if you are willing to work extra hard, this training sessions are an added advantage. So you're saying most youths think that you'll go for this training and immediately get a job, but things on the ground don't really work out that way. Considering some of us wamefanya what we call degrees, umeenda ukafanya some. So this is an added advantage. It gives you an understanding of the job market. So when you're going for this interview, you know exactly what they want and you know how to market and package yourself, especially on packaging yourself.
Now, how do you maybe outreach the youth? What strategies do you take, to outreach the youth?
Fantastic. We have our social media platforms, which we've been using to reach out to the youths. We've been igniting them. We are also having the platform via the youth agenda, where we try to have discussions with them, and continuing forward under our foundation, that is Remnants Foundation, is having a lot of engagements around this. So for some of the students who will be attending these sessions, some of them we've met even the last year and the year before that. So because Remnants Foundation has been in the space of civic education, and more so in the high schools and the junior secondaries, we do set books performances. So we have youths that we acted for them last year and the year before that. Now they have transitioned from high school now, and they are preparing to set foot in the job marketplace. So it's been a good journey that we've had to work with them, and this is how we do it. We work with them, we train them, and this is a part of our responsibility as an organization to the country.
Now, before you come to know, the matters film and theater, tell us about, you are having the launch today, so maybe you can tell the youth where the launch is happening, and maybe, what will be happening in the launch.
Thank you so much. So today we will be having the official and the first session, which will be happening in Embakasi West. This session will be at Topmax Training College, that is at Umoja B Center. Just adjacent to Harris Tavern, you will find Topmax there. Please do make your way from there at around 9. We will be starting at around 9:30, and the session will run up until noon, and we will be having refreshments for the same. Please do come attend. It will be a fantastic session. You will get to learn laws. Come carrying a book and a notepad pen, and feel free to engage with us.
Right, there you have it. Now let's take a look on this other side of film.
Yes.
Now, how does soft skill training and film
go? Where do they meet? It's a very good question that you ask. Sometimes how we act, you see, there are lessons in life that you only learn by seeing. There are lessons in life you only learn when you see somebody else doing it. And acting has been a source of employment. Say, for example, KCCA is I believe it must be the biggest employer of youths in Kenya. That is the Kenya Actors Board, the one that is in charge of the actors. It is one of the biggest employers in Kenya. So you find that having this skill of performing live gives you what we call an advantage. Say, for example, you have another skill like carpentry, you have another skill like engineering, for example, and then you have acting. It helps you to give back to the society. It helps you to train others while you're also learning, because it's live stage performance. So when you're seeing it there, you're seeing how things will revolve in there. For example, if you're having a set around personalities types, and then we'll stage a brief show on a workplace and how this personality will relate with this personality. Now that will give you a better chance of understanding and seeing your personality being presented there. We have very few personalities. We have 16 personalities. We are able to stage them on play. You will be able to see your personality and relate with that person. So this is the way I have been acting. So I've been acting this way because of this and this and this. At least that way, you're able to understand where you come from and why you act the way you do.
Now you do act with, do you have like a group or something, or you are?
Yes. We have a group which we train with, which we travel with. We have partnered with very able directors who are able to stage these plays for us, and then we are able to go out to schools, to different counties, and stage these plays for our students.
Now, you've mentioned about theaters and acting in theaters. Of course, acting in theaters is, of course, much different from acting on set in front of a camera. So,
yes.
Tell us how, the training correlates with your work in, the youth empowerment and soft skill program.
Yes, thank you so much.
Right.
Maybe I might use my personal life story for this. When I started acting, I was at a point in life where I was really struggling. I had done my studies, I had finished up to the senior levels,
right.
but I was still out there waiting for a job and doing what we call menial jobs. But then acting for me gave me the platform to first learn, and then it gave me the chance to go out into the world and interact. You see, I am an extroverted person, so generally I will obviously do well where there are people and where it's social, an opportunity for me to converse with people. So acting for me gave me a chance to not go back to these what we call the vile things. And you see, youths in Nairobi County, I'll go specific on Nairobi County, kind of struggle. You see, being raised in an urban area, there are challenges that come with that. Right. You might be raised by parents, but we all have peer pressure. It's a reality that most of us don't want to accept. Right. And acting for me placed me in an opportunity in a place where I was not really idle. And not being idle, I kept learning from my fellow youths. I began to understand about setting plays for drug and substance use. I began to understand, wow, so this thing has been affecting youths all over the country. Right. And it gave me a perspective. You see, some of these things we try out of, let me try. I mean, I'm a youth and you only live once, you always you say. But then you stage plays, then you see people, what is happening in the play, it's happening in real life. And that really changed my perspective and has given me what we call motisha to train others. And acting for me has been an easy way of relaying these messages. We find that sometimes maybe if I come and what we call public speaking, I will speak, but people will not really relate with what the message I wanted to give. But when you find that as Remnants Foundation, we come and speak about a topic, then we show it being presented in live stage performance, then you are able to now understand the lesson from it.
Now you've interacted maybe with the youth in the software programs and the younger generation in high schools, and we just concluded a men's mental health awareness month.
Yes,
now, according to you, because you've interacted with them, what are some of the challenges that you see the younger generation are facing right now that need to be addressed? That
is a very good question, and thank you for that. Right. And you see, the young generation generally is struggling from very, very minute, not so minute, but minute problems. Right. The first and the main challenge that the youths, the young leaders face is what is called cyberbullying and peer pressure. Those are the two main problems, the challenges that they face. You'll find that they are having peer pressure. Say, for example, you're coming from a humble background, quote unquote, and then you're going to school, you find yourself in this space where there are children who have been exposed to these technologies, to this, what we call, people call it soft life. And you see, it's a different upbringing totally from what you've had. And then these children are now being forced to change their lifestyles, to upgrade, to conform to this new sets of rules that they are finding, to this new set of kamani dressing, kamani speaking, totally a new way of carrying yourselves. So it is a challenge that they are facing, and also cyberbullying. You find that they are still young. They are wanaingia what we call social media. They are exposing themselves, and they have not yet formed what we call the thick skin. Right. Unlike you and I, at least we've been in this space for some time, mtu akikutukana online, you are able to either overlook ama say something about it. But for them, you find that they are still young and they are struggling with this. So it's basically cyberbullying and peer pressure. Pressure to act and behave and also fit the standards of other children. Standards are set by the parents, really. Right. So it's not really your standard. Now, even as you wind up, do tell us about looking ahead. Yes. What does the future holds for you and, the soft skill training program and the film part of it? Yes, thank you so much. Now, looking forward from here, we are set to have this conversations and training sessions going on. For example, next week on Wednesday, we will be at Mukuru Konjenga, that is Embakasi South. We will be at Chaminade Training Center. And going forward, we are set to have this with different institutions. We are partnering with Kenya Institute of Professional Studies, East African College of Aviation. We are also partnering with a couple of more institutions. So going forward, expect a lot from us. Please engage with our social media platforms to know the schedules and the dates where we'll be having and the institutions which we will be coming to. Going forward, we'll also be staging, you'll be seeing us have a lot of performances for colleges. This is something that has not really been there. So we are engaging. We're saying that also the students in colleges and the youths in colleges need to understand this lesson. And we have found that acting and live stage performance has been an easy way and a good way of bringing these lessons home. So we are coming and we will stage these shows for you. We'll have conversations around these workshops. Yes.
All right, now even as we wind up, a word of advice to our young countrymen.
Wow, that is, you put me on the spot there. Now, as a young man, as a young lady in Kenya, it's our time. When we were young, we used to be told, sisi ni viongozi wa kesho. We are the leaders of tomorrow. Tomorrow is here with us. And if you're still waiting for tomorrow, our children will be the leaders and will be left out of this. So as a young person, in anything that you want to do, know this, there's never being ready. You only start with where you are, you start with what you have, and you will get better as you move on. So please, in anything that you do it perfectly. We are here to prove a point. We are hearing executives saying that the Gen Z is not ready for the workplace, but please, let's prove them wrong. Hapo kwa what we call work ethic. Let's work our off. So yes, please, in everything that you do it to the very best. So engage with us with our social media platforms at Remnants Foundation.
All right. I was actually to ask you, how can they get in touch with you? Maybe social media platforms, maybe someone wants to collaborate, or maybe want to learn through a program. Apart from your social media platforms, so someone anaweza kupata
mtu anaweza nipata on my personal account, Kaunda Abanas, across all social media platforms. We are open to partnering with other CBOs. So if you're there, you feel that this is a space where we could partner together in helping our youths, please reach out to us, reach out to me personally, Kaunda Abanas, or at my personal number, 0799 507591. I'll repeat one more time, 0799 507591. If you're a teacher, if you are a parent and would like to see what we do, that is the performed live stage for the acting, that is the JSS class readers and the high school set books, please also reach out to us and we will come to your institution for a very, very engaging experience.
All right, asante sana for making time to be with us this here on the program this particular morning. And it is exactly 26 minutes past the top of the hour. That note, I was joined by Abanus Kaunda, who is a youth leader, of course, does a lot of things, film and soft skill training program. Of course, they are launching their program today in Nairobi. Go, get educated, get insights. It is exactly 26 minutes past the top of the hour. That's not to wrap up our program here on The Drift. You've been watching The Drift, and just in case you missed out on this particular conversation, you can actually get that on our social media platforms. You are live on Facebook and as well as on YouTube. Frederick Njuri is coming up in the top of the hour at 9 a.m. Discussing in the Leadership Challenge program, discussing matters, the Gen Z's and anti-demo bill, which, has been making headlines across the country these few months. My name is Martin Masharo signing off. Do have yourself a lovely day. And, let's meet again later on in the day as we continue keeping you up to speed with those making headlines from across our 47 counties and, of course, across the borders as far as news is concerned. But until then, let's do this again when God says we do.